Okay, we're back. Sorry about that last one. I didn't realize it had run so long. Hopefully I didn't bore you too much. But let's take a look at the rest of Unit 7. We'll probably do this in 2 or 3 clips. One of the things we have to deal with here is order of operations. Most of you are probably generally familiar with that already. If we have something like 3 plus 2 minus 2 times 2. We're going to use the order of operations to solve that. And we're going to look at, first of all, the mnemonic for remembering that is please excuse my dead Aunt Sally, or my dear Aunt Sally, also known as PEMDAS. And remember that means parenthesis, exponent, multiplication or division in either order from left to right, and then the same addition and subtraction, either order from left to right, just the same way that you read. So let's apply that to this expression. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at their parentheses. Yes, there is. So I'm going to go ahead and do whatever in the parentheses. And inside the parentheses, it tells me 3 plus 2, so I'm going to add 3 plus 2 first. And I end up with 5, and then the rest of the expression was minus 2 times 2. Now, if I was going to subtract, and I said 5 minus 2 is 3 times 2, I'd end up with 6, and that would be incorrect. Because as you're looking, first I'm going to say, are there any exponents? No, no exponents, don't have to worry about it. Is there any multiplication or division? And yes, there is multiplication or division. I'm going to do that before the subtraction. So what is 2 times 2? 2 times 2 is 4. So now I have 5 minus 4. And you can see that's going to give me the answer of, now I can do my addition and subtraction. There's subtraction. 5 minus 4 is 1. Which is very different. If I would have done it the wrong way and said 5 minus 2 equals 3, times 2, that would have given me 6, which would have been an incorrect answer. So that's primarily it for order of operations. The other thing that we're going to look at real quick is operations with integers. So there's 2 operations with integers, or there's 4 operations with integers, and multiplication and division of integers follow the exact same rule. And if you're going to be taking HSGQE or SBA tests, I always recommend to my students to go ahead and write on their scratch paper immediately, just so that they'll remember that everybody knows 2 times 3 equals 6, right? Okay. Now, if I make one of these negative 2 times times 3, that changes this and it becomes negative 6. If I make them both negative 2 times negative 3, and you'll often see this with parentheses just so it doesn't look awkward, that flips it back again, and I end up with a positive 6. And then if I switch this one and make this positive times a negative 3, then I'm right back to a negative 6. Basically, if there's an odd number of negative signs, you're going to have a negative answer. If there's an even number, like 2, 4, 6, or 8 negative signs, you're going to end up with a positive answer. And just this little thing in the corner here is a really good way to remind yourself. And the same thing is true with division as it is with multiplication. And let's do a couple of quick examples. If I have negative 3 times 5, and remember this is just another way to write a multiplication problem. So negative 3 times 5, I'm going to treat it, first of all, I'm just going to say, what's 3 times 5? 15. One negative sign. One negative sign means my answer is negative. That becomes negative 15. Let's look at a division problem real quickly. If I have negative 21 and I divide that by -7, and this is a way to write a division, remember, just it's a fraction. Negative divided by a negative, well, two negatives gives me a positive. So 21 divided by 7 is 3, and the two negatives means it's going to remain positive. Okay, and that, I'll come back and talk about addition and subtraction because we're at 5 minutes.